We're now joined on the show by John from Lansdowne. How you doing?
What's going on, brother? Great to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you very much. So you are currently in the UK on your first ever headline tour. You've done like London and Newcastle already and Glasgow at the moment. Like, how's it been going?
Incredible, man. It's amazing to get to see the fans and hear their stories and, watch them sing back the lyrics. We're always humbled by being over here. Had a great response over these support runs, and it's been, we're very privileged to be here.
What is the difference? Obviously, you've played over here in support stops. This is your first ever headline show. So how is it taking to the stage, knowing it's your show and you're not supporting someone and you're the final act of the night? Like, how is that different?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's great to experience it from both sides. Obviously, we've been out with some great bands as support, but being able to be the headliner is a privilege for sure. I think the biggest difference is there's more storytelling involved. It's a longer set, so we really get into like the origin stories of where the songs came from. And I don't know, I find it to be almost a cathartic experience because we let fans into our process and the stories behind the songs and how much they mean to us. And we've heard from fans through social media and at the shows what these songs mean to them, and it's just really great to bring the whole family together.
Yeah, that was actually something I was going to jump onto a little bit later because I saw it in an interview maybe 18 months ago or something. And you were saying that if a fan comes up to you and says like, oh, they love this song XYZ, and the meaning behind it is completely different to how you wrote it, but you don't correct them. And I love that fact. But like, what is the song that like someone's come to you and said, oh, this means this to me because of this? And you're like, that is like the complete opposite. Like, has there been a case like that where like, that's so far from what I was expecting you to get from this song?
Oh yeah, well, first of all, you're right. You shouldn't correct anybody that takes meaning from your songs. I mean, it's their song more than mine now, right? So like we wrote it, we put it out into the universe, and fans take from it what they want. And it's been wildly positive to hear the stories about how the songs affect them. I don't know if we have a song that is super different from what we intended. The songs are pretty explicit in the message. I think that the most impactful ones that we hear are Halo for sure. I mean, people really get a lot of value out of that one. And then Falling Down. Falling Down tends to hit everybody because this is a song about mental health and about managing, depression and anxiety. And, we all go through it. And I talk about during the shows, like, hey, the best thing you can do is just talk to anybody, to tell them how you're feeling, ask them how they're feeling. And I guarantee you're going to end up saving a life, and it might even be yours. So that's been the most meaningful, I think.
Yeah. And I love that. And that's one of the main reasons why I love music is the fact that I always seek solace in music, and like I could find a million different songs. I mean, a million different reasons for me to listen to, and yeah, it's just like every song. I think you can take something away from it, even just if just a joke song. It's a happy song at the end of the day or something like that. There's always something that can be taken. I think.
Yeah, dude. It's interesting. It's oftentimes not even the whole song. People pick out parts of songs and say, I identify with that. Like it might be a verse or a part of a chorus, and then it comes back to a story about family or friends or a relationship that went well or went wrong. And it is truly rewarding to be able to hear fans give back their own stories, because that also influences our songwriting, right? Like we take these experiences away from each tour and we go back, and that kind of gets put into that pot that we're stirring up for those next songs. So we're really excited about that piece.
Yeah, that's really cool. I love the fact you take that with you as well. Because I've asked a lot of people in the past about like how does people saying that their music affects you, like affects them, affect your songwriting? Because do you suddenly think, oh no, we could change people's lives with this? Like, and there's a kind of like a pressure builds up. But a lot of people said that they kind of just have to separate that from when they're writing to like actually thinking, yeah, people see a lot in this.
Yeah, honestly, for me, it's an affirmation that what I'm feeling when I'm writing these lyrics, I'm not alone in that. There are a lot of different people feeling similar things, and I just have I think, responsibility, one that I enjoy and I take on graciously, of trying to express that musically for others. And I don't know, man, I just think it's the greatest job in the world. We're really lucky.
Yeah, I mean it does. I mean it's always every job's got its downside, but like the ups when it comes to performing live, like just being on stage and yeah, like you said, having people singing back at you. Like, is there anything you can compare that feeling to? Like when someone is screaming your words back at you that you wrote in a room somewhere, tens of thousands of miles away, and you're like, wow, that's something special.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the best sex you've ever had. I mean, it is dopamine for an hour, and like, my goodness, it is so rewarding. Yeah. You get up there and think you see people singing things back, and you get to sing in their faces, and there's a real chemistry there. And I don't know, man. It's fantastic. Anyone that's ever been on stage and has played a good show or an intimate show understands what I'm saying there, where it's like, wow, this is, a soul moving moment.
I think you feel it from the crowd when you're at a gig and you really connect with the musician on stage. I think you kind of there's nothing I can't really explain what it is, but it's just there's just a feeling that's just like euphoria almost when you're like, yeah, this is it.
Well, yeah, Simon, that's just it. It's so wonderful that we can't explain it. That's what makes it magic, right? Like if we could explain it, if we could reason it out, it'd be less interesting. The fact that it just fucking happens and it's just like, oh my God, we're here together in this moment. And when you're in that moment, it's the greatest.
There's one thing I was going to ask because see, you supported a lot of bands when you've come over to Europe and stuff before. Have you taken anything away from some of those artists? 'Cause I know like you've supported like Ice Nine Kills, who are they put on a theatre show, really. It's more than just a gig with those guys. Like, have you taken anything away from like those sort of bands you support? Like, go, we're going to bring this to our live show now, like, or anything like that.
Yeah, no, we do. It's a great question. It's the level of professionalism and preparation that they bring. I mean, you see Spencer every day doing this thing, the whole ink camp. You understand that these guys are in it to win it. They are taking every ounce of energy they have and pouring it out and leaving it on stage. And that's inspiring, right? Like, and we want to honor that by being able to bring that same energy and that same level of focus every night. So there's camaraderie there. There's also a competitiveness there, but it lifts everybody up.
Who is your favorite band that you have supported on tour? When you're watching them, you're just like, yeah, these guys are just at their peak.
So I will tell you that one of the best live bands we've ever played with and seen and experienced as people is Blackstone Cherry. I mean, I don't know. Have you seen them live?
No, but I know a couple of friends who say they're one of their favorites.
All right. So we went out with them in Hailstorm, and Hailstorm's another great one. But like they are so good. They're so tight. You can't have an off night with those guys. You have to bring it. And you get off stage and they're just real people, super kind. And I think that's kind of like the hallmark of a great band, right? Like they bring it on stage and then they get off stage and they just become people again. And it's easy to just love those people because they're so good and gracious. And I think humility is a really big part of that. You're there to put on a show, but you're also there to be human. And so I think Blackstone's probably our biggest wow moment.
That's cool. Yeah, I know a lot of people that see them. They're like, yeah, they just blow them away live. And it kind of like sort of leads on to this, but like you guys are very much in that sort of like US hard rock sound. And I've been trying to think for like ages, like what makes like because as soon as you hear you guys, you kind of go, yeah, American hard rock band. Like, and I think it's the drums. I think it's the drums that defines it. Like, is there like anything for you to go, yeah, this is what makes this sound this, if that makes any sort of sense?
Interesting. I just happen to be sitting with the drummer. Say hi, Glenn.
What's up, brother?
Yeah, we like the drums on that one too. I think it's unapologetic. I think we go out there, we try to be heavy, but we also try to be melodic. So I think that when you combine those two things, you get the best of both worlds because the energy that you get from a heavier, aggressive live show really kind of permeates into the crowd and we feed off each other's energy. But you also need to be able to bring those strong melodies. And I'm not necessarily saying pop melodies, but like things that people can relate to and sing back to you. And so I think I think good hard rock bands in general are able to combine those two things.
Yeah. I actually think what you said about pop, not pop melodies, I think actually when hard rock bands and like metal bands that can bring that sort of level of pop into like a chorus thing is really special because it shows a songwriting level, which is ridiculous. The fact that you can create these like heavy riffs and stuff, and then you can create these like beautiful melodies that everyone, they're catchy and stuff. It's so hard to do because so many people try it and don't quite get it. But once you get it and you nail it, it's like, wow, that's something special.
Yeah, man, it really is special, and our favorite bands do that. I think, like for me personally, I don't really have a choice. I'm not a screamer. I'm not like a Bring Me the Horizon guy. We love that band, but I'm never gonna be screaming like that. So I have to be able to sing and make sure that there's some soul in there, and make sure that we do have melody that is pop driven. Like a good example is a song called "Bury Me." People seem to attach themselves to that song. That is a pop song. So we're really proud to be able to combine those two things and bring it out to the crowd so that they can hear the energy and the strong melodies.
And I think that also just helps people connect because if you get that little bit that that little earworm that sticks with you, and then you just keep, you either hear a riff or you got a little bit of a melody, and then that's why the song just sticks with you. I think at least.
Yeah, no, you're right.
So obviously touring, obviously you've done the US extensively, and then obviously you've done Europe now, and you're over here yourself. Is it easier touring in America or abroad in you because Europe? Because you're still like hundreds of miles away from home. Even when you're in America, you're still, hours away from home. So is it easier in Europe or in America because you're still technically at home?
Yeah, they're so different. I mean, I think anytime you're on a bus, that's your home. You're on this little traveling island. But I don't know. Well, what we do find is that European and UK fans use their phones less. Like they're really in the show. They're not videotaping as much, which is cool. Like I have their attention not through some kind of screen. And we love that people tape and share on social media too. Like keep doing that. But there is a really nice element overseas of people just being really immersed in the show. Otherwise, it's generally the same. I think people kind of have this thought that we're seeing the world, we're traveling, we're doing all these cool things, we're going to all these cool places, and we are. But like for touring bands, it's really on the bus into a venue, back on the bus, next venue. So there's not a lot of like touristy vacationy stuff going, and it's they all kind of blur together.
Yeah, I know. I've spoken to a number of bands before, like a lot of British bands when they've gone to the States and they're like, oh yeah, we went to New York and what did you see of New York? Anything out of a bus window. That's pretty much it we saw.
Exactly, man. Dude, and we go to all these great countries. Like we want to see these things, but our tour managers got us on a tight schedule. We're still at work. So, and for me personally, like I've got to take care of my voice. I don't really have the luxury of going out and, getting crazy and then being like, oh, let's go play a show. So, people pay good money for tickets. They spend their time, they drive from hours away. We had some fans literally fly from Kuwait to Munich on this tour just to see the show. And I'm not about to be the person that doesn't give them the best show I possibly could have. I owe them a great show. So, we feel a responsibility there.
And I love the fact that you take every show as we've got to give our best. Like there's no like half in it when it comes to a show. This is, it could be the first time someone sees you, it might be the only time someone sees you. So you want to make sure it's the best time that they're going to see you.
Dude, it's honestly, I don't understand the folks that don't put on a great show no matter what the crowd looks like. It could be 3,000, could be three people, could be 30,000. Everybody should get the same show because like that person in the crowd, let's say there's three people in the crowd. Well, that person still paid their ticket. They came to see a show and they should fucking get what they came for, man. So like we really have to honor those people's time and investment and money. And like, I don't know, again, if you don't see this as a privilege and an honor, you're in the wrong business.
I love this energy. This is the 100% the energy that I love for a band. Like, we're here. If it's like three people, they're still getting a stadium show. I don't care. I love that vibe.
Yeah.
So I think
Well,
you sounded really positive and things because there was an interview again I saw about maybe from about a couple of years ago now where you're saying that you actually had left the band because like things weren't going in and nothing was really happening. But now it sounds like you're a lot happier. Obviously, there's the touring going on. It seems a lot more focused now. Is that the case? You got with you guys. You now got a long-term sort of goal and plan in place.
yeah, I mean, I partly left because I was raising a family and I didn't feel like I could give 100% to my kids.
Yeah.
Now the kids are a little bit older and we've got more structure around us with our team. We have a nice team. So like there's certainly more resources that we can leverage on tour. It makes it possible for me to just focus on the writing and the performing. And there are other guys in the band like Sean and Glenn do a lot of behind the scenes work. So we do have people that are really putting in the time and effort to make sure that these things go well. But no, I love this era of us becoming older and wiser. We come in with more resources and I think we've grown as songwriters and performers. So it feels like such a special time to be in Lansdowne. And I feel lucky to be here.
That's one thing. Like I never really touched on with bands or artists, but like I can't even imagine being like a dad and then being thousands of miles away, like quite a lot of the time. Like how you said that your kids are a little bit older now, but like how easy is it? It's not easy, but like how being that far away from your kids, for that amount of time, like how hard is it, to be a dad and be like, yeah, well, I've got to go, but this is our job, it's what's putting food on the table, sort of thing. But but it's I've got to be away from you for this amount of time.
Yeah. I think there are a number. I have a lot of thoughts there. So I think one thing, FaceTime makes it easier. When we started, there was no FaceTime. I think that is certainly something that makes a difference. I think something else is the thing that makes it hard is you miss the little moments. You miss the micro moments where, your child needs advice. And if you're not there in the moment to give it, they might not know to ask. So I think you miss those opportunities. And that's why we rely heavily on family. We've all got great, really supportive families that we rely heavily on and we love. But I think just remembering that you are leaving your family to do your job, there is a sacrifice involved, and you have to honor that sacrifice by doing a good job every night. Like I can't imagine being out here and being miserable and not putting my all into it and being away from my kids at the same time, that seems crazy. So like, if we're gonna do it, let's fucking do it.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Yeah, because it's difficult, but obviously, like you said, it's a privilege to be on the road at the same time. So it's the best of. I was going to say the best of a bad situation. Not really a bad situation, but like the best you can make it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's certainly, I mean, the kids get into it too. Like all of our kids listen to our music. They turn it on Alexa at home. They all have Spotify playlists. So like we're kind of lucky in that all the kids like the Lansdowne stuff. But man, I'd be lying to you if I didn't say that towards the end of a tour, I am thinking more and more about getting back to my kids and holding them and being there for their moments and investing myself in their lives. And not so much being kind of like I don't know how to say this. I think that being away helps us appreciate how much we have at home.
I think that makes perfect sense. So, like, what is next for you guys? Obviously, we've got this UK tour at the moment, and I swear I saw the other day that you would love to come back for some UK festivals, but there's nothing announced yet. Is that the case still?
Oh my gosh, we would love to come back. Summer's coming, man. So like we're hoping to be back in summer 25. There is some cool stuff coming up early next year that we'll announce in the coming month. But as far as UK specific stuff, like we've received an incredible response from UK fans. We've got great partners on the radio side that are seeing a strong response for the singles. Like Here to Stay is doing well. So we're hoping to make sure that we can bring that live show back in a large environment and really take advantage of festival season next summer.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever done download before?
We haven't. Why haven't we, Simon? What's going on?
I don't know. It's one of the best that we've got.
I know. Let's go. Let's do it.
Get Andy on the line. Andy Coppins, what you doing?
Come on, Andy. Let's go, man.
I think I'd pretty much we've got like for you guys, I would say download is the one, isn't it? Because I don't think you're not quite in metal enough for Bloodstock. I don't really think it's your sort of vibe. I don't think. Whereas down,
no, I think download's the right fit. I think a good analog so far is like mixture of bands, and we had just a ton of success on this past year was Grass Pop in Belgium. We did Rock for People as well, and like just tremendous response from festival crowds. I think our show is built to be a big live show. It's very arena friendly. It's very crowd friendly, and so like the bigger the stage, better for our music.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely true. Actually, especially with any sort of like hard rock, American hard rock, it's a big stage because those riffs, and when you get that beat comes in, you're like, yeah, this needs like the world's biggest PA just to make it sound.
Yeah, dude, bring on all the big PAs. You're totally right. Yeah, we'd love to be a part of Download this year. We'd love to come back to the UK. I think that, UK fans are special, dude. They love their music and they understand rock. Like this is a market that loves rock music. And so like, it's great to not only, be on stage and play our brand of rock with fans, but also get off stage and talk to them about like everybody's favorites. Like we're all fanboying out about the newest record for so-and-so. So like, it's a great experience.
I think we, especially now after the whole pandemic and everything, really appreciate any band that is coming over here. Cause like we were for so long, we had no bands like coming over from America. We're like, please don't forget us now. People are coming back. Like, thank God they're coming back.
No, you're right. And we really feel like the UK and overseas in general tends to be a second home for us. We put a lot of priority around it. We have intentionally been here a number of times over the last year and a half. So this isn't something that we're like, oh, let's go overseas, it'll be fun. No, this is extended family for us. We take it seriously, and every time we get to come back, it's really exciting for us.
This is amazing. I've loved the energy throughout this whole thing. Like just the positivity, just the energy that you bring is amazing. And thank you so much, John, for being on the show. And yeah, best of luck finishing off the rest of the tour. And then hopefully we will see you download 2025 when they announce some more bands. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that so much, but you guys make it possible for us, Simon. I mean, like really, we can't do it without you guys. So all the support that we receive to interviews like this, I mean, this is really part of the fun and part of the experience. So really, we should be thanking you as well. So would love to see you next summer for sure for festival season. Everybody keep listening. Everybody keep supporting rock music. And we love you guys.
Amazing. Thanks so much, John. It's been an absolute pleasure.
All right, Simon. Thanks, brother.
Thank you.